A spiritual awakening is usually defined as the realization of a dimension that is beyond the confines of the ego. With that being said, an awakening can come in various different forms, and the degree to which can be inspired by them will vary as well. A spiritual awakening is not similar across all people. It can happen anytime to anyone for any reason, as the total consciousness of humanity is becoming more evolved and more spiritual. More and more awakenings are happening across the globe. I wanted to make this video to do a showcase of some of the signs that you are having a spiritual awakening. What is interesting is that oftentimes people are going through spiritual awakenings but do not understand that they are having an awakening. In this video, I want to talk about the signs that you're having a spiritual awakening. The first sign that you're having a spiritual awakening is you will have an intensified perception of everything around you. You start to feel connected and interested in things that never caught your attention before. You feel as if the little things in life are having just as much impact on you as huge events could. Because every small detail is becoming so clear to you, this is often one of the most intense parts of the spiritual awakening. A sign that you're going through an awakening process and don't even know it is if you see the details of things and feel transfixed by them, but still brush them off. You can see the beauty in all the people, places, and objects, and you adore them the way they are. You find even things you didn't really care for are now enjoyable to you, and during your time of spiritual awakening, you find even the things you didn't really care for are now enjoyable to you during your time of spiritual awakening. Oftentimes, you are not taking things for granted like other people, and you even find being alone or alone in nature is truly enjoyable to you. It just seems, as of late, everything is closer to you, not to sound cliche, but you feel connected to things. This intense perception can also cause high sensitivity, simply meaning your sensitivity to all things in your life and outside of your life increases, so much so that it is different from how other people see it. As this is the first thing that happens to someone that is experiencing a spiritual awakening, it is important to safeguard your own well-being. Safeguard yourself by knowing that whatever the path on your spiritual journey, that you can get through every obstacle. Another common sign that you're going through a spiritual awakening is an increased intuition and an overwhelming desire to reconnect with oneself. But this time is often a stage where you go through a dramatic growth in your character. Because you want to reconnect with yourself and start being the best you can be, you often see that some relationships are not serving you in your life. Again, know that everything you go through is meant to be, and changing your relationships, finding new ones, and building a stronger bond with yourself is what is going to happen in a spiritual awakening. During a spiritual awakening, there's going to be a strong will to reconnect with oneself. This is because during the awakening process, people learn that the only one that can truly make them happy is found within themselves. Because this truth is now known to them, they now look to themselves for enjoyment, encouragement, advice, and support, instead of wholly relying on anyone outside of themselves. Even though you can ask for help or rely on other people, spiritually awakened people show signs of expressed enjoyment of self-reliance. It is often the intuitive call that brings about these times of wanting to be alone. As the awakening increases over time, the spiritually awakened person finds more and more scenarios where they can rely on themselves, and this creates the habit of self-reliance over time. During this time, as relationships fade away, there is also a new surge of relationships and, in general, opportunities for the spiritually awakened person. People that are going through a spiritual enlightenment also find themselves thinking and pursuing activities that revolve around awareness of the present, meaning that you finally get to do all the things you want. You realize as you focus on the present, there is so much to be done, so much to do, and you actively start planning to do it. Of course, before the awakening process, a person can think these things and plan, but being spiritually aware allows these activities to come about with more consistency and persistence. During this phase, you finally allow yourself to start doing things rather than be bogged down with ideas of limitations. The enlightened self instead plans and works towards what it wants for the joy of doing so. A big part of this phase is becoming less concerned with the past and the future and the obsessive emotions that can spawn from them, but instead focusing on the present and getting the most out of it. Mastering this idea, people that are spiritually awakened find themselves motivated by the present to create a great past and future within the moment. Less time is spent thinking about the goals in a negative way and ruminating over the past. The enlightened mind knows that it can affect both of those positively in the present. In this phase, as you finally start to open up, you will find that you have an amazing ability to manifest. This is because you are actually taking every opportunity that comes to you because your mind is situated in the present rather than in the past. A problem that could come out of this phase is that when you aren't seeing opportunities or you feel like you are becoming limited, it can feel like the person you are morphing into is falling down. It is important to know that each person's life and their destiny with their spirit and their spiritual journey is going to be different for everyone. It is important not to beat yourself up about every little thing. Becoming too focused on the present can be harmful. Make sure to stay calm, open, and observant in this phase of enlightenment. All in all, walking the path of enlightenment isn't fantastic, but like with everything in life, there's challenges that can occur, and without some sort of guidance or heads up, it oftentimes can destroy our newfound mindset. Being patient, observant, and finally allowing yourself to follow your dreams is what I want you to take away from this video. Please leave a like or subscribe. If you liked this video, please leave a like or subscribe. And if you have any other tips about going through a spiritual awakening, please leave them in the comments below for other people to see. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.